I want to start at the top in the main event. Keanan, you're going for the middleweight belt. This is a fight you wanted, dude. You made this call out a long time ago. So my question is, why Cage Fury? Why Kyle Daukaus?
I mean, Kyle was the only call out, man. He's a belt holder. He's a wily veteran. He's had 6 fights in the UFC. And I need that test to be able to move up to the next level, man. He's kind of like that gatekeeper for me. So,
and just piggybacking off that, I saw in I believe it was your James Lynch interview, you mentioned, missing that tough call. That's why you want this high caliber. So like, is that the goal, kind of, get past Kyle, use that big win to get UFC's attention again?
100%, man. Like, yeah, it's the Ultimate Fighter is what it is. I made that call out on him at was it November last year during that Cage Fury card, and yeah, that got put on ice. Unfortunately, I just didn't want the risk of injury. But the moment it didn't pan out, I immediately reached out to my manager to get a hold of Kyle, and thank goodness he took me. I'm humbled for the opportunity.
Awesome, man. Really looking forward to that main event and that title fight. And then my next one is for Bilal Hasan down there again. Bilal, my man, big call out with Shamel in their last fight after a very exciting win. What was with the call out? Why did you want the bad man so much?
Man, he just fought for the past, and that's my goal, man, is to get a run for the title, defend the title a couple times, get my experience up, and then UFC. He's just another stepping stone, man. So yeah, that's good, man.
And you're both contenders in the division. So do you see with a win here, title next, or do you want to be UFC before that?
No, definitely. I need my experience. I definitely want to fight for the title and then defend it a couple times. And then, yeah, after that, UFC for sure.
Awesome, man. And then I'll wait to ask Shamel his questions, obviously, till he gets in here. But he is on the way, everybody. So, Christian, I'll throw it down to you, my man. Undefeated, taking on Karan Reed. I actually talked to Karan last week. I've known him for several years. He's hype about this match, right? He was like, I was like, hey, do you want me to tell Christian anything? He's like, yeah, man, I hope he brings it. I hope he's ready. The typical stuff, but he's very excited for this matchup, and he feels he can get it done quick. So what's your response to that?
Me too. And, there's a reason why he's excited and he's hyped up for this match, because he knows I'm going to show up. I know he's had trouble with opponents pulling out and stuff like that. He knows with me, he knows I'm going to come right in his face. I'm going to come right into his face, and then I'm going to press the action.
Appreciate the earmuffs there, my man. And then that was something he mentioned in the interview too. He said, I just want this fight to happen. I'm sick of opponents pulling out. So you guaranteeing this fight's on, brother?
Up. He knows I'm going to show up. He knows.
Love it, dude. Love it. And then Ryan Burgos, teammate down there. First fight in 2 years, man. We just talked last week, but now that it's a week out from the fight, just tell me about the energy. How good are you feeling ahead of this return?
Yeah, I'm ready to go, man. It's been a long time coming, and I'm just ready to make a statement. Keep the wins flowing.
And brother Shane's going to be in the building, obviously a legend in MMA, one of the more crazy fighters out there. We're going to get to see some of that famous Burgos style.
I just hope there's blood, man. I wanna spill some blood, man. That's all I'm hoping for.
Well, Seth on the media panel is not liking that. He doesn't want to clean up any blood that night. And Jason Lederfine, GM of Cage Fury, announcer for Fury Grappling and Muay Thai. Big question for you. You're behind the scenes on this one. So tell the fans why CFFC 132 is an absolute must-see.
Well, I mean, I think the main event just by itself is absolutely amazing when you have a 6-fight UFC veteran versus a 5-1 guy on the regional scene trying to break through. Since Kyle was released from the UFC, he's regained the title. He's remained undefeated with us and could potentially be on the verge of getting a call back up to the middleweight division in the UFC. I really see the winner of this fight probably getting an immediate call. Keanan is a special guy where, if you told Keanan he was fighting 3 times in one night, he would be mad. But he'd only be mad because he's not fighting 4 times in one night or 5 times in one night. He's that guy. He wants to fight all the time. Unfortunately, he's had some opponents pull out the day of a fight. If you remember that, Keanan, guy said he all of a sudden had staff after the weigh-ins. We fly Keanan all the way in to the East Coast from Canada, and everything's done. He makes weight. He does everything like he's supposed to as a professional. and I think he intimidated the guy a little too much, and all of a sudden he had staff and pulled out. So I'm really, really looking forward to this fight. It's probably one of the biggest regional fights you'll see on any promotion throughout the country. Bilal Hasan, he's really paced himself correctly in his career. He fought a 1-1 and then a 2-0 when he was 1-0. And now he's fighting another guy that's fought for a belt, that fought our champion and took him to a decision. So Bilal is taking a really strategic approach to advancing himself, seeing all these guys back. Ryan Burgos back after a couple-year layoff. He's been in the CFFC cage before. He knows what's going on. So all in all, Emily Martins fighting for the belt as well. If you haven't caught Emily Martins, she was so good as an amateur that at 2-0, no one would fight her anymore. So in the state of Florida, she couldn't turn professional because she didn't have 5 fights. So we had to fly her to North Dakota, where the tribal committee did, they didn't care how many fights you had, they'll let you go pro. We had to turn her pro in North Dakota so we could then bring her back to Florida and fight pro down there. So she's a phenom. King Mo said she's one of the most talented females he sees in American Top Team. So from start to finish with our next gen, all the way up to our professional card, the main event, I mean, it's an absolute banger.
Completely agree. Can't wait to be there for this one, front and center. It's going to be, like you said, a banger start to finish. And then I see, since I started talking, Shamel the Bad Man Findley has joined the building. So Shamel, while I ask you this question, do me a favor, turn your phone sideways. But I already talked to Bilal here, and I would love to get your thoughts too, because you were called out in this one. So what was your reaction when you heard that call out after Bilal's last win?
Hey, can you hear me?
You're good, brother. You're good.
Yeah. The call out. Oh yeah, I remember. During the call out, I was on vacation. I was on a cabin trip with my friends. We were celebrating a birthday. I saw the call out maybe a day or two after, or I tuned into the fights because I had a teammate fighting that night, I believe. I think Nathan Williams was on that card. So I tuned in to see that, and then a couple minutes or a day later, people were texting me, "Hey, so somebody called you out. Da da da. You got to do this. You got to do that. That's crazy." So then I went back. I watched it, looked it up. I didn't watch the fight. I just kind of like skipped through to like no way. But yeah, what I thought of it, I thought it was. I told Bilal already. I thought it was corny. But I thought it was exactly what someone like him needs to do to be blessed with the opportunity that he got.
So you're viewing this as Bilal using you as a stepping stone?
I'm viewing it as that he used entertainment to propel himself, whereas I used like actual fights and results. So I think it was strategically, it was like the smartest thing to do. I think everybody else at the top of the division in the promotion at the time was either just coming off of a fight or, just unavailable. My last time out was a loss. So I think it was just like he's trying to get there. His fights aren't, I think if we really like look back on it, I don't know how entertaining he is before the highlight, the one highlight that they have been playing over and over to like convince people of how entertaining he is.
And then I'm going to pass it to our media in 1 second, but I do see Bilal smiling. So Bilal, what are your thoughts on that?
What's not entertaining about my style, bro? I mean, my first fight wasn't the most entertaining. I thought Jerry Yashi, he just wanted to crotch the whole time. But my second fight, man, Ortega finished him in the first round with body shots. That was also a highlight as well. And of course, my last fight, man, how could you not play that over and over again? But Shamel's got it right. I mean, he is the stepping stone, and yeah, I'm just excited to get in the cage with this man.